Ladies and gentlemen, I believe if you set your mind to something, anything is possible. Well, pretty much anything. Let's face it, my 5'6", 130-pound figure has no chance of ever becoming a bouncer at the dance club. I'm a little man in a big man's world. Let's face it, my body commands no respect. Anyways, I truly believe that you can achieve anything you want in life. But the reason that people don't achieve things they want is because they have certain habits with their money that hold them back in life. And in this video, I want to share 6 of those money habits that prevent people from doing what they want in life. So let me start off by exposing myself a little bit. And let's talk about it in the first habit, watching the news. Since becoming a YouTuber, I have learned a lot about how to get and keep people's attention. And if you look at my channel, I would say I'm decently good at it. And I believe that I do it in a very responsible way by providing value. Unfortunately, what I have learned is what often gets the most attention are the most sensationalized things. For example, and I'm going to expose myself, don't hold this against me, but 2 months ago I posted this video titled "Frugal Living is the Only Way to Survive the Cost of Living Crisis." And I try to avoid sensationalized titles, but for my channel, that title is sort of sensationalized. It has words like survive and crisis. And the interesting thing about that video is it has 4 to 6 times the amount of views as the videos posted around the same time. And the reason I find that so fascinating is because I think it says something deep about our human psychology. I think it says that we're naturally more drawn to sensational things, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I just think it's the way our brains are wired. The bad thing, though, is that people often manipulate that for profit, which is why when you turn on the news, all you hear about is upcoming recessions, market crashes, and bad things happening. And it's not necessarily because it's true and that's the only thing that's going on, but it's because sensation gets attention. And when we get in the habit of watching the news or getting consumed by these sensational topics, I think that it can hold us back in life because it distorts our view of what's actually going on. It makes us think that things are worse than they actually are, which can cause us to make bad decisions with our money. Now, the second habit is neglecting your health. For the 55% of you that are watching that are not from the United States, let me explain how absurd our healthcare system is, and let me warn you, it ain't much of a system. Because I am self-employed, I get my insurance through the government and pay $220 a month. And my plan is very basic. I have something we call a deductible of $9,100. And a deductible is the amount I pay before insurance kicks in. So for example, if I broke a bone and it ended up costing $100,000 to fix, I would have to pay my deductible of $9,100 and the insurance would pay the rest of $89,900. Despite paying $220 a month, I would still have to take a huge financial hit. Healthcare is the Wild West in the US. You can't afford to be sick in this country. However, despite that, we're an extremely unhealthy country. Many people don't eat healthy foods, don't exercise, and don't try to stay in good health. And that habit of neglecting your health ends up costing people so much financially, of doctor bills, prescription bills, and high insurance premiums, which holds them back in life because it creates a lot of financial burdens. And I understand that diet and exercise don't solve every health problem. Sometimes you can do everything right and still run into health problems. But we should all be in the habit of focusing on staying in good health because 1, it makes you feel better, and 2, it helps you financially. It's important to take preventative steps to be in good physical and mental health, which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. We're approaching the time of year where things are a little bit more tough. The days are shorter, it's cold outside, and we gotta spend a little bit more time with our families. Needless to say, there's a lot more stress this time of the year. And something that's always helped me get through tough times is having someone to talk to. And BetterHelp is an online therapy platform with over 30,000 licensed therapists ready to help for whatever your needs may be. It's completely online, which means that you can do your therapy sessions at a time that works for you in the comfort of your own home. All you have to do is click on the link in my description, betterhelp.com/AustinWilliams, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you with a perfect licensed therapist for your needs, in most cases within 48 hours. And once you get matched with a licensed therapist, you can communicate with them through various forms of communication, whether that's text, call, or video call. And as I said, because it's all online, you're not bound to just the therapist in your area, but you have access to a network of over 30,000 licensed therapists. And for whatever reason, if your therapist isn't a good match, you can always switch therapists at no extra cost. And because it's all online, it makes the transition a lot more smooth. But if you're struggling in life, consider therapy with BetterHelp. And to get started and get matched with a licensed therapist, as well as get 10% off your first month, click on the link in my description, betterhelp.com/AustinWilliams. And thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, the third habit that is holding you back in life is betting your future on the lottery. As crazy as this sounds, I know so many people who put the faith of their financial future into the hands of the lottery or some external force, believing that things will somehow fall into place and their future will turn out okay. And whether that's with the lottery or something else, many people live their lives believing that things are just going to somehow work out without them putting in any effort at all. And this mindset, this habit that people have, really holds them back in life because instead of living in reality and taking active steps to build a better future like financial planning, goal setting, and educating themselves, they live in imagination land and leave everything to chance. Many people sadly view money as this game of chance and don't take active steps in their lives to build a better future, which really prevents them from doing what they want in life. But if you leave imagination and come to reality, you can achieve whatever you want in life. So come join me in reality, ladies and gentlemen, where even us little people can achieve whatever we want because money is not this game of chance. The fourth habit is seeking approval. It's amazing the length that grown adults go to try to seek approval from other adults, whether that's buying a nice car or a big house. So many people get nice things simply because they're trying to get approval from other people. And this habit can be very self-sabotaging because we end up with so many financial burdens that hold us back in life. So many people buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. They have this habit of seeking approval from other people, and the truth is, these people you're seeking approval from don't actually care about this stuff anyways. I heard this brilliant quote the other day that went, "When you're 20, you care what everyone thinks. When you're 40, you stop caring what everyone thinks. When you're 60, you realize no one was ever thinking about you in the first place." People end up going in so much debt to get things that in reality nobody cares about. One of my heroes, Austin Powers, said something similar to this. "You can spend your whole life trying to win over people's approval, believe me. But at the end of the day, you just gotta do it for yourself, baby, yeah." So do things for you, not to impress other people, because it's a habit that's self-sabotaging. The fifth habit that is holding you back in life is following consumer trends. Since the release of the iPhone in 2007, people have gotten extremely weird. Well, they'll wait hours, sometimes days in line for the latest version of a product. And although people don't do that as much as they used to because we have the internet and Jeff Bezos' crew can just bring it to us, so we never need to leave our houses anymore, but we've still created this culture where we're constantly following trends, where every year a new version of a product is released. And people love to follow these trends where every year they get the newest version of a product, which is an extremely expensive habit. And because it's so expensive, it ends up holding people back in life because instead of using that money on something, in my opinion, more worthwhile, they're just wasting money buying the latest version of things in this never-ending cycle. And how much can a product really change in one single year? Now, the final habit that is holding you back in life is being comfortable with debt. We live in a society where debt is a completely normal thing, where people don't see any problem with putting a sandwich, a cup of coffee, or a pair of shoes on their credit card. If you lend me the money, I'll take it, as we Americans say. People are so comfortable with taking on debt in their lives, which really holds them back, because instead of living in the here and now and doing things they enjoy, taking chances and planning for the future, they live in the past, trying to recover from their past decisions. And although you can still live a happy life with debt, when you have debt in your life, you always have this cloud overhead of the things you owe that brings you stress and anxiety. People never reach their full potential in life because they're in this never-ending game of catch-up due to the fact that they're so comfortable with debt. But if you can get out of the habit and avoid debt, you can stop living in the past and live in the here and now. And those are the 6 money habits that are holding you back in life. And if you can break those habits, you can do whatever you want in life. Well, pretty much whatever. I will never become a bouncer. With that, muchas gracias. Que tenga un buen día. Nos vemos, chicos.